This video is sponsored by Squarespace. You can make a beautiful website or online store with this all-in-one platform. So welcome back to another sketchbook session where I just open up my sketchbook to a blank page and fill the sketchbook with some drawings. So I hope you'll enjoy this one. This one I'm drawing a lot of dogs and just a bunch of random animals, and I think I put the dogs in like winter hats and scarves. And I'm using the water-based Ohuhu markers that I've had for a long time, and I recently got a bunch of them, a bunch more colors as well, which is really nice because they're my favorite markers to use in my sketchbook for just roughly adding down pops of color without worrying about it being too perfect or too blended or like too accurate. Just for adding color, and they don't bleed through the page since they're water-based. So that's what I love about them. So if you're wondering, those are the markers I use. So for this page, I started off with my mechanical pencil. I've gotten back into using these a bit more lately because I'm kind of liking the way you can get more detail with them without having to sharpen them, because sharpening pencils is kind of a pain and I don't really feel like doing that lately. So if you use a mechanical pencil, you of course don't need to sharpen anything. You just click the back of the pencil and the lead comes out, and if I want to erase stuff, I'll just use a separate eraser because I think all the erasers on my mechanical pencils are used up completely, but I'm not sure. But my favorite kind of erasers to use are the extendable ones where you have like a little eraser cylinder, like a long cylinder inside like a plastic case or something like that, and you can like also extend them out and erase with them just like a mechanical pencil. It's like the perfect duo, having these two sketching supplies in one session if you're going to be like erasing and doing fine details. If you want like a thin, precise eraser, and if you want a thinner pencil, it's like a good combo to have both of these things. I think the one I have is like the Mars, what is it called? The Mars plastic eraser, but it's like in a tube. And it's like those blue and white ones you might see around. So I'd recommend those for sketching with pencil and just like having like fine details and more control over what you erase. I don't even know if I erased anything. Oh, I think I did erase something on this page, but you'll see that eventually. I think I've been using my sketchbook a little more frequently, but there definitely are days where I kind of forget it exists, and I really should draw on it more, but I think I've been drawing in it more than I normally do, which is nice. Of course, I want to always like increase that a little more, do a little more sketching. It's just so easy to get caught up in all the other parts of my like job and business. There's a lot of things to do. Like I've been spending a lot of time this year setting up my QuickBooks account and like really taking control of my finances and organizing all my expenses and doing all the fancy tax business stuff. But I feel like I have a better handle on things. I feel more like in control of everything, and I know like exactly like what to claim and like how to report things, and it's a good feeling. But I've been spending more time doing that than doing art. Except for lately, I feel like I've been drawing a little more. But yeah, I still like going back to my New Year's goals of wanting to make more art and find more joy with art. So far, I think I'm doing a pretty good job, but I definitely could be making more art, and I hope to do that. So that's why I wanted to film this sketchbook session. And also this sketchbook session was for a Patreon print for this month. It was for the January package, and you can actually still grab the January package. There's a couple days left if you want to get the bundle of art. You get a cute little dog with a scarf sticker. You get a dog with a scarf print. I actually love this print. It's probably one of my favorite things I've made in a long time. It's just so like cute and simple and sweet, and I really like the contrast between all the colors, and I just really like this print so much that I'm making a large version of the print that will go up in my next shop update. That will happen in a couple weeks, but there is a shop update coming soon, so keep your eyes peeled for updates about that. There's going to be my first ever patches, and that's all I'll say about that. So yeah, if you want to grab this Patreon pack, you'll get a print of this sketchbook page, an art print, and a little sticker. So you can head to Patreon if you want to get that. For a lot of my sketchbook pages, sometimes I will clean them up digitally or like modify them digitally or just like straight up paint over them digitally if I'm not particularly happy with the result. And I remember this day when I was drawing this page, my hand was quite sore and tired. I think because I had been rock climbing or something like that, and my hand was just like really, really sore. So I was drawing quite quickly and not too precisely. And eventually I just had to stop adding details because my hand was too sore. And I actually scanned it with my scanner, and I brought it into my iPad with Procreate and tried to sort of bring it to the level of finish that I like these sketchbook pages to have. It's probably a little too detailed. I think the thing that was throwing me off about this one was that the background was sort of completely colored, and I don't usually do that for the sketchbook pages. I actually have a whole wall full of the sketchbook pages I've done so far. I'll put a clip of it here. It's really cool to like look and see all the like sketchbook pages I've done, but I think it's just a cool little way to have like a monthly page of how you were sketching at the time, just sort of like a monthly recap of what I've done in my sketchbook. Some of them are a bunch of sketches from different pages combined together, and I try to like make the composition nice. Some of them are just one page that I scanned because the page itself already had a nice composition. This one is one of those examples where I drew the page for the sketchbook print, and it kind of encapsulates the sort of way I had been sketching up to that point, where I use graphite pencil, my Ohuhu, water-based markers, and some sort of fine liner to refine the edges. So now for a quick shout out to this video's sponsor, which is Squarespace. You've probably heard of them if you've been on my channel. They're a website builder where you can completely customize your website to fit your own aesthetic and to match your brand. You can make a website, you can make a blog, an online store. There's so much you can do with Squarespace and so much like flexibility these days. A lot of people are doing really cool things with Squarespace, like secret shops. They'll have newsletters, you can sell digital rewards. I mostly just use mine as a portfolio, and I really love their portfolios and galleries feature because all you do is you just upload all the art you want. You can drag and drop them to rearrange the order of how they appear on your website, and you just press save and it looks nice and clean. Thanks to the automatic image scaling, this means that the images will fit nicely beside each other. Something I always mention as well is you can really easily link your social media sites to your website, and this allows anyone who lands on your website to find you elsewhere, like on Instagram and YouTube. So if this is interesting to you, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/JelArts, and you can save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks so much to Squarespace for being a supporter of this channel, and on to the rest of the video. And I was really mad because I forgot to press record at one part, and I was having a lot of fun laying down the greens and like the darker green spots on this dog. And I looked and my camera was off, and I was like, well, there was actually like a 1 second clip for me zooming in, and then I think I pressed record, and I thought I was pressing record, but I was actually turning it off because it was already recording. Don't we love when that happens? But it's fine. I still got a lot of footage of this. And it was just like a nice little chill, fun sketchbook page. I remember feeling pretty motivated to draw this day, but my hand just wouldn't cooperate. I was recovering from the rock climbing because it's really strenuous on my hands. But maybe it will probably make my hands much stronger in the long run. And maybe it'll make it easier for me to draw longer. Who knows? But doing more rock climbing in general has made my body feel so much more energized. And I feel like I'm capable of doing a lot more in the day because my body can like take it, like it can like do things for longer without getting tired and needing naps. It's been really beneficial for like my quality of life, just being more like in shape, I guess, or trying to get there. So highly recommend if you're looking to increase your energy levels. I really like these like sage green colors. They're like one of my favorite colors. And it's nice that the markers have it in that color, because I find with these markers, the caps don't really match the color on the inside sometimes. So when I pull it out, I'm like, I hope this is sage green. And I put on the page, and it kind of is. And I like how there's also some like lighter colors, because a lot of markers, it's hard to find light colors. But when I got the huge pack of markers, there was a lot of light colors inside, which was a good surprise. I don't know why I drew a lamb on this page. I feel like it didn't really fit it that well, but it's kind of like random, and like that's kind of what happens in a sketchbook. You just draw random stuff. Not everything has to match. Like you just kind of go with the flow. I was also using some references from Pinterest. My drawing references are posted on my Pinterest in the drawing references board. And if you click on that, there's different boards, and I try to make a board for each video that I use a lot of references for. but I don't know if this one has a board specifically for it. But that's where I kind of like store my drawing references. I like to use a mix of references and add stuff from my head, and like I'll look at the reference for a few moments to get the basic like shape of the animal, and then I'll kind of stop looking at it and embellish it my own way so that it kind of like looks, it doesn't like copy the reference too closely, because I do want my art to like differ from the reference and not be like a complete copy. But when I'm doing sketchbook study, sometimes like I don't really care about that. I'm just trying to train my eyes and my hand to cooperate and put on the page what I want it to put on the page. And also a regret with this lamb was I think I over-rendered it by like adding way too many, I like didn't leave enough white space. I like colored it in, and that kind of made it hard to not have it be so like dark and present on the page. But I think in the end it pulled together digitally for sure, and I used all of my digital brushes that are nice and naturalistic, but you'll see that eventually. Another interesting piece of news is I got a new printer, and I don't know if I will make a video about that eventually, probably once I have it for a few months. But basically I really want to start making my own stickers again, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I might be like underestimating how much work it was, because I stopped making my stickers for a long time because the ink of my old printer was just too expensive, and I was using third-party inks to bypass that, but I slowly noticed like over time the third-party inks just weren't performing as well as I want them to. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna make my own printed stuff, I want to use like the original Canon ink or like the original manufacturer's ink. But there's a lot of like scams when it comes to buying printers, where the printer companies will charge a low price for the printer, and you'll be like, hey, this printer's not so expensive, I'm gonna buy it. And then when it comes to refill the ink, it's like $20 for this tiny little cartridge. But my new printer is an Eco Tank, and it's the same price as a tiny little cartridge, but you get a whole bottle of ink, and it lasts for so long, people have said. A lot of the artists I follow have Eco Tanks. It seems like lots of people have them these days, but I was really inspired to get it because I was watching one of Art by Tuna's videos, and basically it came highly recommended in that video and seemed like a great fit for me, and I've been sort of toying with the idea in the back of my mind for a while, and I sort of, it felt kind of like rushed, like a, what's the word, like a rash decision, but I like went to Best Buy, I did a quick Google and found that the large format one was $200 off Canadian. And I was like, So I decided to sleep on it, and I bought it the next day. It arrived the next day, and I'm actually so glad I've done this. I like it so much more than my old printer. The colors actually print way more accurately, and filling the ink is so easy, and it apparently can print on like a wide variety of surfaces, but I'm not gonna really need to print on that, on like a large variety of stuff. It'll be mostly paper, but I'm really excited to like be able to make things again, to make printed things. I grabbed some really, really nice inkjet paper from Red River Paper that I'm gonna try out, and yeah, I feel like I love the aspect of like making things myself and sending them out. It's just really rewarding, and it's nice to not have to order in bulk and guess how much you're going to need of something. I think for certain things like Patreon, I'll probably continue to order some things maybe, but I'll do some experimenting for a bit, see how it is to make my own stuff again. If I want to offer more art prints, I won't have to like order a huge quantity of them from my local printer place, because I have to pay for shipping for those, and sometimes I'll sit with the quantity of prints for months before they actually sell out or before I have to restock. So if I can just like control the quantity that I have and sort of print as needed, I think that would be really great for my business, and I'll get to control the colors and print on paper stocks that I like more like textured matte paper. It's going to be a fun journey. If it works out, I hope it does, because I used to print everything myself and it was pretty fun, and I love making stuff. But if anything needs to be in bulk, I'll probably just order it for like just to save time. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because it's something exciting in the back of my mind that I've recently done. I really hope you enjoyed this video. You can grab this as a print, and it comes with a really pretty dog print and a sticker on my Patreon. You can join Patreon or leave at any time. So if you just want one particular package, you can join. Or if you ever like decide like, oh, this is too expensive, you can join and cancel at any time, or you can even downgrade to the lower tiers, because the lower tiers still have lots of cool stuff. My $5 tier, I post sketchbook scans. They also get a discount to my shop, and you also get monthly newsletters, or like roughly every month newsletters where I kind of show you everything I've been up to, and I also show sneak peeks on shop projects that I've been making. There's a little blurb about my Patreon in case you didn't know. So thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I'll see you in my next one.